Good afternoon, and season's greetings and happy holidays from the Boston Classical Guitar Society and the Hingham Public Library. My name is George Ward, and it's my pleasure to welcome you to this virtual Sunday Sound special concert. This series is brought to you by the Hingham Public Library and the BCGS with support from the Coastal Heritage Bank. Today's performance is by guitarist John Muratore. John is a highly acclaimed classical guitarist and performs regularly as a solo recitalist, concerto soloist, and chamber musician. As a solo artist, he has appeared extensively throughout the United States, Canada, Europe, and Russia. He is a graduate of the New England Conservatory and a faculty member of the Boston University School of Music. John also teaches online at Dartmouth College and is the coordinator of the guitar program at the All-Newton Music School. As a technical note today, in this virtual performance, the audience will be muted. So please hold your applause until the end of the performance when we'll all be unmuted and able to applause. So now please welcome John Muratore.
Thank you. And thank you, George. Thanks for putting all this together. And it's been a tradition in the past maybe 7 or 8 years to have played a program like this with featuring holiday music, most of my own arrangements, featuring stuff from my CD, Noel. And we've been doing this at the Hingham Library in December, probably, like I said, for maybe 7 or 8 years. And it's really nice to be able to continue it this year, even though in a somewhat different format here on the Zoom. So we hope it all works out well. And I thank all of you for coming. I heard that it was, they reached capacity, so there's no room at the Zoom. Different take on the old no room at the inn and the nativity story. So the first piece that I'm going to play is El Noi de la Mare. It's the mother's child. It's a Catalan folk melody from the 16th century, the words of which talk about what shall we give this child, and they mention a lot of food products, raisins and figs and olives. And this tune is very popular throughout Spain and actually throughout the world, and I've heard it played many different ways, many different tempi, fast, slow. This one is from Miguel Llobet, the great Spanish guitarist version. It's a somewhat more contemplative than others, but it's a very beautiful version. So this will be his El Noi de la Mare, followed by the Canarios by Gaspar Sanz, written in the 18th century. The lively dance, purportedly from the Canary Islands. The Canarios was a very popular dance in Europe throughout the 16th, 17th, and 18th centuries, and so that will immediately follow El Noi de la Mare. Just going to ask George, who's standing by, is if everything's okay, sound-wise. Okay, gives me the thumbs up. Good. I'm going to take my headphones out because I don't need them on now. Next, we're going to have a combination of two carols, Lo, How a Rose Ere Bloom, and In the Bleak Midwinter. Actually, the first one is In the Bleak Midwinter, which was written in the early 20th century, and it has the text by Christina Rossetti, who wrote many poems and song texts, music by Gustav Holst. And I've arranged this with also the Lo, How a Rose Ere Bloom, or Es ist ein Rosensprungen, the German carol that I came to know quite well when I was a undergraduate at the New England Conservatory of Music. Every year, a group of singers that were organized by a fellow named David Klipp, who was a countertenor, actually, we would go to the Wellesley Office Park and do Christmas carols for about 5 days in a row on a week before Christmas, or sometime in December. And I was the musical accompaniment for these three fabulous singers. But on this particular song, In the Bleak Midwinter, I was asked instead to sing the bass part, which was a real honor. I'm not much of a singer, but I can sing in tune, and I can remember, and I can read music, so I could get the notes out, and it was always a real thrill to be singing for a 3-4 part harmony with these really top-notch singers. And I've always had this tune in my head. And then when I made this arrangement, I realized they're in the same key, and also that towards the end of this arrangement, both melodies can work together at the same time for one phrase anyway. So this is In the Bleak Midwinter first, followed by Lo ha a Rose Blooming. That last piece was In Dolce Jubilo, an arrangement I made of probably the oldest carol in this collection. It was the words were written in the early 1400s, and the tune also came from the later 15th century, and it was originally written in three languages. It had German, Latin, and a little Greek in it, and then in the 19th century it was translated, and some of the words were changed actually to "Good Christian Men Rejoice," with the same tune. It appears in many hymnals as "Good Christian Men Rejoice," but it's been a favorite of many composers throughout the centuries. Next, we move to some holiday music from the Jewish tradition. Hanukkah has just passed. I believe the last night was Friday, and even though it is no longer Hanukkah, I thought I would play this Hanukkah tune that I arranged. It's one of the most popular ones. It's called Hanukkah Ohanaka, and it makes reference to dancing the hora and lighting the menorah, playing with the dreidel, eating latkes. So a lot of the traditions that are included in Hanukkah celebrations. So it's an old Yiddish tune, and I've arranged it to have a bit of a lively character. I should mention also that this will be followed by two pieces by Agustin Barrios. Agustin Barrios was a Paraguayan composer, virtuoso guitarist, poet, philosopher. His beautiful Villancico de Navidad, which is a villancico is a Christmas carol, and this is one of his more reflective pieces. I'm going to have a follow-up piece with that, also by Barrios, which is a lively waltz, which is a really beautiful piece in its own right. So the first we'll have the Hanukkah Ohanaka, then the Villancico de Navidad by Barrios, followed by the Valse or Waltz by Barrios. that one's always so much fun to play, and really livens things up. Next, we're going to have the most traditional, pop perhaps, English carol. Well, it's What Child Is This? But it was originally, the melody comes from the folk tune Greensleeves, which is another 16th century, really a love song, but was adapted in the 19th century with different words, slightly different harmony, or well, I won't get into that, but there's a slight differences in one note in the melody also, to become What Child Is This? And my good friend and legendary jazz fingerstyle guitarist Gene Bertoncini has done a most beautiful arrangement of Greensleeves, and he was kind enough to give me the music, which I learned many years ago and always wanted to include it, and I did include it on this Noel Classical Guitar Christmas CD. And so I thought what I would do is precede Gene's version of Greensleeves with a very simple version of What Child Is This? So this will be Gene Bertoncini's Greensleeves with What Child Is This before it. Next, we have another French carol that's entitled Écoutons donc les aubades, which means listen, hear the singing, or come hear the serenades. And this comes from an arrangement that the great Robert de Cormier, choral conductor, arranger, composer, political activist extraordinaire in everything he did. I had the pleasure of working with him on several CDs of choral Christmas music with mostly guitar accompaniment. And this Écoutons version is his arrangement of the vocal tune. It's my rearrangement of his arrangement of the tune because I thought it would work well as a solo guitar piece. And it's got a different tuning. I've got to tune the fifth string down to a G, and then the sixth string down to a low D. So it's got a drop D and a drop G tuning. And the tune Écoutons, it's often done as a processional going into the church, and so the arrangement, the idea is that it's coming from farther away and then gets closer and then recedes again at the end. Next, we have an old English folk song called Down in Yon Forest. And this song has a very storied history. Lots of different verses have been added and taken away over the years. Originally, it was intended to be something for Good Friday, but later became known as a Christmas song, as it mentions the Nativity and also mentions the Holy Grail. Very symbolic text. It's been recorded and arranged by so many people. It's a very haunting tune, and I gave it a bit of a haunting arrangement as well. So this is Down in Yon Forest. This is what happens when you retune or detune. Next, we have one of my favorite tunes. It's also a French tune, Bring a Torch, Jeanette Isabella, which originally was not a Christmas song like so many others, but later became adapted to be part of the Christmas holiday. And this is often done, this comes from Provence, France, and it's often done as a procession of children dressed up as shepherds and shepherdesses carrying torches into the midnight mass. And so that creates quite the image, and it's that image that sort of compelled me to make this a little bit less of dancey. Some arrangements of this are quite fast, but this one's a little bit more contemplative. It comes out as like a theme and variations on this Bring a Torch, Jeanette Isabella. And immediately following will be some music from Vince Guaraldi, from the Charlie Brown Christmas special. The music still lives on today, more than 50 years after it aired back in the 60s. And El Tannenbaum, his arrangement of O Christmas Tree, O Tannenbaum. I've adapted to guitar, which will be followed by Christmas Time Is Here, which is an original by Vince Guaraldi. And then it rounds it out with Adeste Fidelis, or O Come Ye Faithful, just an arrangement that kind of came out of playing those two together and needing something to end with. And it transitions in a way that Vince Guaraldi might have played, but then it ends up a little bit more Baroque sounding as it goes along. Just checking to see that I'm not running out of juice on my computer, which I'm not. once again, I'd like to thank you all for tuning in today, and I'm so happy to have this opportunity to be able to play this music for all of you. And I'd like to leave you with one more, and this is another Gene Bertoncini arrangement of a tune by the Claude Thornhill. It's called Snowfall, and it's become a bit of a jazz standard over the years. It's usually played to quite a slow tempo, but Gene's arrangement gives a little bit of swing, which is very nice. And I have interpolated a few other things in the middle of it. So this is Gene Bertoncini's arrangement of Claude Thornhill's Snowfall. And once again, I want to thank you all for being here, and I hope you all have a very safe and happy, joyous, peaceful holiday. And next year we'll see you in person. Thank you. Clinton.
Thank you.
Okay.
Thank you. That was wonderful.
Good, John.
Thank you.
Very nice. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you very
Thank
much.
Bravo.
Thank you.
Merry Christmas.
Wonderful. Merry Christmas.
Christmas.
Merry Christmas. Bye.
Oh,
Thank you.
My
See you
husband-
next year.
Yes.
My
Awesome.
husband, who's also a guitar player,
Bravo.
says, "False harmonics, so good, show off."
thank you from Portsmouth, New Hampshire.
Thank you,
Oh,
John. It's not Christmas until I hear Noel.
Oh,
Oh,
that's great. Thank you.
great. Beautiful.
Thank you from New Jersey.
Oh.
Ah.
Oh.
Thank you from New Hampshire.
John, that's quite a
one of the
response.
benefits of this having this platform is people far flung can join in.
That's
That's great.
Good.
Thank you.
Thank you, John. I'll sign off now with a few words. Thank you for that wonderful performance. As John mentioned, this is his 7th year with us, and it's always a pleasure to have him back again. And for more information, you can go to John's website at johnmuratore.com. Our next performance will be January 31st at 3 p.m. and features the very accomplished guitarist Thatcher Harrison. In closing, please follow our virtual series on the Hingham Library website at hinghamlibrary.org. And also check out the Boston Classical Guitar Society Virtual Artist Series at bostonguitar.org. The next BCGS performance is on February the 27th at 7:30 and features the internationally renowned guitarist Jason Vio. So from all of us here, have a happy and healthy holiday season, and thank you so much for supporting live virtual concerts at the library.